You may not notice it, but you are a creative machine. Every moment that you experience is an act of creation. It is a moment of creation. Each thought, each emotion, each way of relating to your thoughts and emotions, ways of relating to other people is a moment of creation. Being creative is not limited to artists, writers, painters, musicians, etc. Being creative is who you are. You are the force of creation itself. You are the source of creation itself. You are the creative energy that is responsible for the making of the entire universe itself. That's what this experience is. It's the pure creative energy, the pure infinite potential. And that is you. You are pure consciousness. So if you want to unleash your creative potential, this video is the perfect video for you. You help create or co-create existence moment by moment by moment through your storytelling, through your relationships to it, through your interpretations of it. And this is not something that you can skip out on in your life and expect to actually find fulfillment. The joy of just creating is something that you do not want to outsource to AI. I recently made a video on that. It's not something that you want to pass on in your life. So let's talk about really becoming a powerful creative force. First of all, why is your creativity blocked? This is something that we need to inquire into. We got to look at the actual blocks so we can free them and your creativity can become more natural. So if you want to free your creative energy, you need to connect more deeply to the present experience, to being, to the source of creation itself. You need to connect to creation itself to be more creative. If you are disconnected from yourself, from experience, you're not going to, number one, feel very whole within yourself. You're not going to feel very fulfilled. And number two, your creative energy is not going to come through very cleanly, not properly, not very consistently. So like I said, this experience itself is pure consciousness. And your creative energy, it already exists. Reality itself is just pure infinite potential limiting itself into various finite forms. So your creative potential already exists, and the problem is that you artificially block it repeatedly without knowing it. You block it through things like resistance, unconscious behaviors, forms of struggling against your experience. You block it through a lack of presence. You block it through identification with the separate self or the ego. And as you inquire into these things, your mind naturally becomes extremely creative because you connect more and more and more with who and what you actually are, with your real, authentic, true nature, which is just pure infinite potential. And you bring that creative energy into every moment of your life. You manifest it more and more and more and more as you practice self-actualization, as you practice meditation, as you practice self-inquiry, as you practice giving and just simply creating from your heart, as you practice processing your emotions and letting the energy in the moment flow, etc. As you practice self-transcendence work, you naturally just start to create yourself over time into someone who just lets creativity move through them effortlessly. Copper is a fantastic conductor of electricity. Electricity moves through copper with minimal resistance. You want creative energy, you want the flow of existence itself to move through you with minimal resistance. I promise you this is exactly how you get the best creative results in your life. So how do you unblock it? How do you unblock your creativity? Through self-actualization, through self-transcendence, through raising your consciousness, by opening yourself up to the experience that you're having right now, by becoming more conscious, by connecting with what's true and valuing truth. You unblock it by shining awareness on your unconscious behavior. You unblock it by dissolving the separate self or ego. You unblock it by building more presence. You unblock it by meditating, by questioning your own belief system. Right? You know that belief system that you really like and you really think is very, very true? That's a very restricting and limiting force in your mind that blocks new insights, new questions. Because once you think something is true, that's it. You don't question it much deeper. Once you think you understand something and know something, you don't question it much deeper. So your beliefs are a great cover-up for truth and creativity and building these capacities inside of yourself. Building the capacity to ask a brand new creative question that cuts to the heart of something. So questioning your own belief systems and your assumptions about yourself and what you are and reality. All those are just sort of energetic blocks that you have that you need to remove so that you're more in tune with your experience and you're not filtering it through a distorted and broken lens. You unblock your creativity by committing to sharpening your creativity over time, actually working on just creating. Not just making music or art, but creating consciously, being conscious of how you're creating things moment by moment by moment, by the stories you tell, the interpretations that you have, the meanings that you give things, the relationships that you have with people and with yourself, with your own emotions, with your own psyche. You make all these kinds of things more conscious. You start to recognize moment by moment how you are creating, shining awareness on it, becoming directly conscious of the truth that I'm trying to give you in this video, that I'm trying to point you towards. You unblock your creativity by healing your traumas and healing your wounds, by getting out of survival mode. When you're acting from wounds and traumas, you're essentially kind of acting from very rigid survival patterns for the most part. You're very contracted, you're very disconnected as well in those kinds of experiences. That's why there's so much suffering in those experiences. By healing them and not learning to repeat those patterns, but by opening up and reconnecting with those disassociated and rejected parts of you, you free up energy that you can use for creativity and you naturally open back up. See, when you're acting from those wounds, number one, it takes a lot of energy. It's actually exhausting. Number two, you just remain stuck in them. You just remain blocked over and over and over again. And number three, you're just shut down. You're not open to your experience. You're coloring it through the same lens repeatedly, and this lens does not serve you. So by healing them, you basically free yourself, you open back up, and by opening, right, and not doing it over and over again, you freed up a lot of energy that you can use now. You free up energy that was once going to a pattern that doesn't serve you. You can choose what to do with it. You just simply get more freedom. And you unblock it by giving your body what it needs. Stretch your body, right? Your mind and your body are one, not separate. Stretch your body, be flexible, jump a little bit, go for a run, lift up some weights, stretch, do some yoga, give it some good food, give it some good nature, give it some connection, some physical touch with other people. Give your body what it actually needs. So you give it the good food that it needs. You can't really be creative if you're poisoning your body, if you're, drinking a lot of alcohol, for example. It's much harder to be creative when you're destroying your body. Eating hamburgers and processed foods. Eat a lot of fruit. Eat a lot of very natural foods that are very, very good for you. Fruit, vegetables, extremely good for you. Extremely healing foods for your body, for your mind, for your organs, right? Connect to your body. Learn to be in your body through meditation. Inhabit the internal space in your body. Don't be disassociated from your body. Learn to feel deeply into it. Learn to listen to it. Value your body. So just a reminder that creativity is already who you are. The only problem is that there's a bunch of restrictions and patterns and blockages inside of you that kind of repress it for the most part. It keeps it locked. And as you heal, as you raise your consciousness, as you inquire, basically as you follow all the things I do in this video, you open yourself up more and more and more. As you value truth, you remove a lot of blocks in you that are keeping you stuck and keeping you trapped. And as you open up, you naturally become more creative. You ask more powerful questions. You get greater and greater ideas. They come more often. Right? I personally have so many ideas that I can't even act on all of them. I have to very selectively pick the ones that I actually act on and create, the ones that I find the most enjoyable for me. So that's it for this video. If you're interested in working with me one-to-one, you can apply to do so. Link is in the pinned comment. Basically, I do a lot of self-actualization work with my clients one-to-one, psychology, self-transcendence, raising consciousness, meditation, all this kind of stuff. We go deep in the one-to-ones. I'm going to have my community that's going to come out relatively soon. Other than that, take it easy.